I'm supposed to beg for my life?
And you must all pay for your sins you committed.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2022 horror thriller Death Count, a film that is directed by Michael Sue and it stars Kostas Mandylor, Michael Madsen, Sarah French and Robert Lasardo. Now the film essentially is a Saw clone and it focuses on a group of people who have been taken captive. They all seem to work for the same school. They all know each other. They're all like teachers or people associated with this school. And they're then confronted by a character that calls himself Warden, the Warden. And they are there for a specific reason, and they are being judged by social media. And they have to perform bodily injuries to themselves to entertain the crowds in social media, and the ones that get the most likes will get rewarded, and so on and so forth. The one who's most popular will be freed at the end. As a side note to this, there is a group of police officers led by Michael Madsen who are trying to track down where this broadcast is taking place, obviously to take it off the air. Right, what are my thoughts on Death Count? Well, I think a lot of your enjoyment of this film will probably come down to, do you like torture porn type films like Saw and Hostel, things like that. For me, I'm not really a fan of that type of movie. I'm not really a fan of the Saw franchise. I've seen the first couple. Beyond that, I've not really been interested in them. So, whereas I do recognise that there is an audience out there for films like this, my enjoyment of this, wasn't particularly there because of my enjoyment of that type of movie, like, the Saws and the Hostels and things like that. I do think the film has some things going for it. By that, what I mean is I think the idea is sound enough. This group of people who've been taken captive and put in like these cells and like being made to kind of perform for the audience out there and perform like these gruesome tasks on themselves. And I do mean gruesome. Essentially how it works is there's like a toolbox with a number of items in the toolbox, and the audience member gets to choose for the most part what they have to use, and it might be a drill. So they've got a drill, they've got to do something to themselves with a drill, or a Stanley knife, or pliers. And it ranges from a whole range of things like pulling teeth out, smashing your fingers with hammers, and drilling yourself. And if you don't do what the warden is expressly telling you to do, and the audience members are instructing you to do, then you will be eliminated. And they've got like this bomb sewn into the back of the neck. It's that old, cherry again, you know what I mean? If they don't cooperate, they will be eliminated. And it's not just the head exploding with the bomb. There's other ways that he will do it. He can gas you. He can like fire adrenaline directly into you, which he does with one of them. It's actually quite funny. And so the results are suitably gory. I remember when I watched this, I was actually eating at one point while I was watching this, eating my lunch, and it did, kind of ruin my appetite a little bit because it is pretty gruesome. So fans out there who like these type of films to be suitably gruesome and gory, you're probably going to be okay, because it was certainly, I would describe this film as gory, sadistic and gruesome at times. A little bit too much for my liking, but maybe it depends on your tolerance for these sort of things. So gore fiends, you guys out there like a bit of gore and gruesomeness in your films, will probably be pretty happy with this. Beyond that, this film doesn't really offer an awful lot. For the life of me, I don't understand why they cast Michael Madsen. For a start, he has like this weird black eye, and it doesn't explain how he gets it in the film, so I could only assume he had it in real life, and he just turned up for his probably 1 or 2 days of filming, and they just said, "Oh, sod it, we'll film you anyway, don't worry about it, we'll just People will just assume you've been beat up on the job or something. And it was just a weird. I mean, these police basically do nothing in this film. Most of the time, they're sat on their ass at a desk or in a car, and then they turn up briefly at the end to get involved. But for the most part, him and his partner, they're just kind of having a laugh and a joke about stuff. I can understand why you want Michael Madsen in your film, because he's a name to put on the poster. And he's in it a reasonable amount, but for me, it probably would have been far more effective to have Michael Madsen either as one of these contestants that have been kidnapped, or even as the warden. Not that I don't think Kostas Mandalo, who plays the warden, doesn't do a good job. He's actually pretty good, and if that name sounds familiar, he is the brother of Louis Mandalo, who does a lot like a low-budget films. He's done a few stuff with Scott Atkins, like The Debt Collector and things like that. So yeah, it is basically a Saw clone. It's not great. But it does have some good things going for it in regards to the gore and things like that. And it's got this kind of mystery about why all these people are there from this high school sort of thing. And there's like a mystery unravels as to why they're all there, why they're all connected, and it's all connected to something that happened within the school they all worked at. But it's not exactly what you would call a compelling or engaging mystery or anything like that. It doesn't really offer anything to the film. The big reveal as to who's put them in the room, you're kind of like, okay, I don't care. We don't know who you are. We don't really know much about that. So if the film would have started off with telling that story about this thing that happened at the high school, rather than us getting it through these characters explaining things, it possibly might have meant more. So what we get really here is a film that the biggest selling point it's got is that it's gruesome, gory, and pretty sadistic, I suppose. Beyond that, there's nothing original, and it's clear that they're obviously interested in doing more with this warden character. I think they've got this really, I don't know, almost, really fascinating and engaging, potentially iconic new low-budget character, like Jigsaw. I don't really think so, guys. But who knows? I mean, I don't necessarily think this film was made certainly for me, because I'm not really a fan of this genre per se. But I'm sure there is an audience out there for this sort of thing. But in regards to the quality that I saw, I'm going to give this one a 4.5 out of 10. It's not a shockingly bad film or anything, but certainly don't go into this one expecting really top quality stuff, because you ain't going to get it. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the review. I will be back with more content on the channel very, very soon.